Welcome to the Legacy Lab. Welcome to the Legacy Lab, where we are leaving a blueprint for the future. I am Melissa Story, and this is the Quiet Confidence Era, where there are 5 foundational pillars, which includes purpose, presence, power, poise, and peace. Well, the lab is outside again. I am in one of my most favorite places to be. Yep, you guessed it, on my patio. It's cool and I am loving it. In the last video, I gave you a snapshot of the 8 points of presence. Today, we're diving into the first 2 points of presence, so let's get to it. Remember, presence is not just showing up. It's how you show up, why you show up, and who you allow yourself to become in that moment. Let's walk through them very slowly and transparently. Point number 1, presence requires a self-check before you show up. Yep. See, presence begins long before you enter a room. It starts with a quiet moment where you check in with yourself, because showing up is not the same as being present. Before you walk into any room, before you sit in any meeting, before you answer any calls, before you give, lead, support, or pour into anybody, presence asks 2 very simple but powerful questions. The first is, who do I need to be in that moment? And then the other is, am I mentally, emotionally, and spiritually here? Most of us don't pause long enough to ask those questions. We show up physically, but emotionally we're scattered, mentally we're drained, and spiritually we're depleted. Presence requires transparency with yourself. You have to have a willingness to acknowledge where you truly are before you give anything to anyone else. Because without that transparency, you'll show up in pieces, not because you're weak, but because you didn't pause long enough to gather yourself. Here's the truth. You can't offer wholeness to anyone if you are fragmented. And you can't support others well when you haven't supported your own emotional and spiritual needs first. Presence is a grounded moment where you ask, do I have the capacity for this? Do I have the clarity for this? Do I have the energy for this? Do I need to breathe, pray, pause, or reset before I walk in? And it's not selfish, it's stewardship. It's how you protect your peace, your purpose, and your posture. Quiet confidence is not pretending that everything is fine. It's having the transparency to say, let me gather myself so I can show up whole. When you practice this self-check, you stop entering rooms exhausted, resentful, and emotionally absent. You can show up centered, grounded, steady, and fully present. And when you are fully present, your confidence becomes quiet but unmistakably strong. Point number 2, presence asks the purpose question. Why am I here? Presence doesn't just ask why and who you need to be, but it does ask, why are you even in the space at all? This is where the quiet confidence era shifts from emotional awareness to spiritual alignment. Because listen, a lot of us have mastered showing up, but we haven't mastered showing up with purpose. Presence, however, will ask, why am I here? Not just why was I invited, not why do they need me, not what expectations do they have for me, but why am I truly here? Let's break it down. See, you can be in the right room for the wrong reason, because you are definitely gifted enough to impress the room. But are you called to be there? You're capable enough to function in the room, but are you aligned with what the room requires? See, the quiet confidence says, I'm not impressed by the room. I'm checking to see if I'm assigned to the room. You can also be in the wrong room with the right potential and still feel drained, unseen, underutilized, and unaligned. Not because you lack purpose, but because you're pouring oil that God did not ask you to pour. Presence brings clarity. Am I serving my assignment or someone else's expectations? Let me give you something to reflect on. Whenever you walk into a space, your spirit already knows if you belong. Your peace will tell you, your body will tell you, and your energy will tell you. Quiet confidence tunes into all of those signals. Presence says, I don't have to accept every invitation. I don't have to fill every gap. I don't have to meet everyone's expectations. And I don't have to stay in every room that I enter. Presence is purpose-driven and not people-driven. It is also alignment over applause, obedience over obligation, and presence is clarity over chaos. And let me say something gently to you. Sometimes God removes you from rooms you prayed for because the assignment attached to that room has expired. But you stayed because the people like you there. But see, presence will teach you to stop negotiating with the spaces God has already ended. When you combine the first two presence principles, something powerful happens. You stop showing up on autopilot. You stop showing up fragmented. You stop showing up trying to meet everyone else's expectations. However, you start showing up with intentions. You'll start showing up aligned. You'll start showing up whole. And you'll start showing up confidently quiet and spiritually aware. See, presence isn't loud, but it is strong. It doesn't announce itself, but it shifts the atmosphere. It doesn't fight for attention, but it carries authority. Presence says, I'm here because I'm aligned, I'm called, prepared, and whole, not because I'm needed or expected. See, these 2 points set the foundation for everything else in the presence pillar. See, because once you know who you need to be and why you're there, then you can move into the other areas like discernment, spiritual awareness, boundaries, influence, transformative alignment, all the other 6 points that we'll be discussing. Well, over the next 6 weeks, again, we'll be discussing those points, each one of those revealing a new layer of what it means to show up whole in the quiet confidence era. So if you're ready to stop performing and start aligning, if you're ready to stop entering rooms out of obligation, if you're ready to show up with purpose and wholeness, then stay close. Your presence is about to shift.